True Trading Group, March 11th. Let's all have a moment of silence for the bull market. We have officially entered bear market territory with the Dow Jones falling now 20% from 52-week highs. That is the technical definition of a bear market. Now, a lot of people say a bear market. A lot of people don't like just going by that technical definition because there have been times throughout this bull market that we have touched down 20% and then recovered. It's more about how long do you stay in bear market territory and the length of which that bear market does last. Okay, so based on the technical definition, we are now in bear market territory, being down 20% from recent highs. Okay, so the historicness of this market continues as we were down another almost 1,500 points today. It seems like this is the new normal. The new normal right now is for the market to be up or down 1,000 points in a single day. It's the new normal. It's no longer a shell shock. It was a shell shock, at the end of February when it happened for the first time. It's now become the norm. People are expecting the markets to move and be as volatile as they are, and this volatility continues, and the volatility is not going anywhere. Today was a really good day for me today. Made some money in TVIX, made some money in CODX. It was a very nice day. The focus of the video today is going to be the famous trade line VWAP crossover pattern. I'm going to break that down for you. I made a little bit of money in TVIX today, but my big win was CODX, and it's all on the back of a trade line VWAP crossover pattern and using Fibonacci retracement levels perfectly. Honestly, I think my execution on this trade today was really, really good. I left a little money on the table, but some really good lessons to learn from the CODX trade while we are dealing with this bear market. A quick touch upon the bear market, guys. If you watch my previous videos, we were running a Black Monday sale to give you 30% off a subscription to True Trading Group while I've been kind of walking people through this chaotic market. This is an environment that I excel very much in. I traded through 2008, won the Trader of the Year award in 2008 when I worked at the hedge fund. That's when we had the last great big recession. And I think at this point, it's inevitable that we go into a recession. It's going to be nothing like 2008, I don't believe, but I do think that it's becoming more and more likely that we do go into a recession because of the coronavirus. I do think we recover, but it will take some time. That's just kind of what I think. I think the SPY gets down into the 260s. I think we have a little bit more room to the downside before this thing settles out. And I think the next couple weeks, things are going to get pretty hectic in the US. I think over the next 1 to 2 weeks, I think we're going to be dealing with a lot more cases, a lot more deaths, unfortunately, and a lot more spread and a lot more drastic measures to contain the spread. I think it's going to get worse. So to help you through this market environment, I made a course about how to survive and thrive during a stock market crash. I released that course about 2 weeks ago for members, and we were giving away a 30% discount off of a 1-year all-inclusive membership that gets you the entire trading curriculum, not just the stock market crash curriculum. And I'm extending that offer because I'm getting a lot of people that are still asking me questions on Twitter. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, my handle is at MikeEdward_TTG. MikeEdward_TTG if you guys want to follow me on Twitter. And I'm getting a lot of emails too. People that are asking me questions about coronavirus. Everybody is kind of panicking, and I want to extend that 30% offer until Sunday. Okay, while we kind of deal with what's going on. I think things are going to get worse. So until Sunday, you guys can click on the link below in the description, and that'll knock off 30% on a 1-year membership to True Trading Group. It's the biggest discount that we've had since Christmas. And this time, your membership will renew at that discounted price. The Christmas deal was just one time and it will renew at the full price. This is your subscription will renew at that discount price. So guys, take advantage of it. Click on the link in the description below and use coupon code TTGBM2020. Now let's get into this market. Let's go to the 3-minute chart, guys. We really sold off today when the World Health Organization labeled the coronavirus a global pandemic. We were in the process of bouncing off of a key 276 area. Okay, 276 was a nice little support area. Here on the SPY. You guys can see right here. There's your support level on the SPY, and we started bouncing off that level, not because of any fundamental news headline or anything like that. This is a technical bounce off of 276. And then right there, the WHO announces global pandemic finally, even though the FDA, the CDC, I think it's the HHS, all these different health officials have been saying that it was a global pandemic 2 weeks ago. But the WHO just finally came out, labeled it a global pandemic, and that's when the markets really got weak and we really sold off. And now here we are trading at 274 in bear market territory officially. So that's where we're at, guys. I'm going to talk about my SPY trade, the TVIX trade, but we're going to talk about the SPY first. Then I'm going to get into CODX, which is my big win of the day, with that trade line VWAP crossover, which is one of my favorite patterns, probably second behind the TGG triangle. Let's get to the SPY, guys. Let's zoom this in. We had the big gap down today after the rally we had yesterday, up 1,500 points, whatever it was yesterday. And we had this very key support level at 273.50. 273 is yesterday's low. 273 is the prior day's low. And as I zoom this back, you guys can see 273.50 goes back to a double bottom support level from March and June. This was a key level of support. Okay, this was a key level of support that I thought we was going to be broken today because of this big gap down after we had that rally. So on that big gap down, I'm coming into the day today bearish. And when I draw my Fibonacci retracement levels from yesterday's close down to that initial morning low, we had resistance here at the 23.6 Fibonacci level. Right there, we pushed back down below VWAP right there. Once we broke below VWAP, I exited the TVIX. I'll take you guys to my trade announcements. Let me zoom in so you can see a little bit better. Here you guys can see I'm long TVIX at 251.67. My stop loss is going to be if we went back up towards highs. Okay, 281.50. All right. So we're sitting here, not really much action in the SPY. We really didn't have, the SPY was very quiet in the morning. It was eerily quiet. We kind of started to bounce back a little bit. Trade line came into play, pushed us back down, and we made new lows. Right there on that new low, I noticed something. Here we are at new lows. Okay, notice how the SPY is clearly at new lows. There was your previous low. You can see the SPY clearly at new lows. But when I take you to the TVIX, TVIX was not making new highs. That divergence and that relative weakness is a sign that the market did not have as much fear today. There was a lot less volatility in the market today. We were not swinging around wildly. We were just kind of like drifting. There wasn't a lot of fear in the market today. And that's something you need to pay attention to because the TVIX is not an inverse of the SPY. It tracks fear and volatility in the marketplace. So eventually, when the market, when people start to realize that this is nothing to, or that the panic is over, either the market stops going down or the market flushes out and this new range becomes the norm, that fear will subside. So TVIX doesn't necessarily have to keep going up, even though the market goes down. It's a fear indicator. It tracks the VIX, not the SPY. Okay. So recognizing that relative weakness, I said to myself, you know what? It doesn't feel like the market has that panic today. It might just be an inside day. So as we're at lows, I said, I'm going to take a piece of profit off the table on the TVIX at 10:30. I took some off at 254.17, which was nowhere near the high of the day. Okay, was nowhere near the high of the day. And that took place right there was my first take profit on the TVIX. Then pan this over. We end up continuing lower. And again, we're continuing lower. Okay, but we are still not making new highs on the TVIX. Here we are at the TVIX, 1040, right? Where are we? Right in here. We're still not making new highs. So again, back to my trade announcements. You can see here at 1058, I sold the bulk of my position in TVIX at 255.19. Okay, that's literally right there, at 255.19. Still not making new highs on the TVIX, although the SPY is well into new lows on the day. Right there was the bulk of my position came off the table. So there's the first take profit, there's the second take profit, and then we start to bounce off of 276, which was a technical area of support. And I said, okay, you know what? We got back above VWAP. I exited the last piece, okay, of that TVIX position for a loss on that last piece at 248.50. Still profitable on the trade overall, but a small gain. Nothing to write home about because we looked like we were recovering off 276. And then the WHO announcement, bang. It put that trade right back on. And that's when the fear finally stepped into the market. We finally sold off and the TVIX finally started to go. And I had no position during this move, which sucked. So I left a ton of money on the table on that TVIX trade. Really, I left a ton of money on the table, guys. This thing went all the way up to 285 or so. Yeah, 285. So I left a lot of money on the table, but there's no way the market was not, the fear wasn't there today until that announcement from the WHO. And at that point I had no position and I felt like I was chasing it. So I did not re-enter that trade. On the flip side, I made really good money in CODX today. And I was just really kind of protecting those profits today. So let's get to CODX and let's talk about the trade line VWAP crossover, one of my favorite patterns. First and foremost, we notice that CODX broke through the high of the day with the heaviest volume of the day. That's a sign of strength. You look for that to become an area of support now. But the key that I want to point out to you guys is this support level. Notice that here's your trade line and VWAP crossover, where the trade line crosses over VWAP, acts as support, and pushes the stock higher. Two things that you want to look for when you get a trade line VWAP crossover to let you know that this pattern is in play. The trade line VWAP crossover is a breakout trigger. But in order to confirm that breakout, you want to see two things happen once the trade line crosses over VWAP. You want to see a quick jump in share price and a quick increase in trading volume. That is how you know that this trade line VWAP crossover is in play. So once we got the crossover, bang, quick jump in share price, bang, quick jump in trading volume. We also break through the high of the day. Excellent. Once you get that, okay, and this is all covered in the advanced courses in the TGG curriculum, which obviously as a member with a 30% discount, you have access to all of it. In the trade line VWAP crossover, once you get that confirmation, you look for the trade line to start to act as an area of support. Okay? You look for it to start to act as an area of support. So what I did, I drew my Fibonacci retracement level up from the prior day's close up to the current high of the day. And you start to see that the trade line lined up with the 23.6 Fibonacci level. So now I've got two support levels. One support level right here at 1065, 1070, where the trade line lines up with the 23.6 Fib level. Beneath that, I have the previous high of the day lines up with VWAP and the 38.2 Fibonacci level. So I've got one support level here, one support level here. So I jumped in, I got long on this pullback, okay, using this area as my stop loss. Okay, back to my announcements. You guys can see here I'm long CODX at 1086, stop loss $10. Long here, stop loss right here. Right away, the trade line comes in. The trade line starts to act as an area of support, just like we expected, and we get pushed up right towards the high of the day. As always, my first take profit is right in front of the high of the day. So right there, I took 25% of my position off the table at 1164. We then break through the high of the day and extend, and the bulk of my position comes off the table at 1245, right here, 1245, bulk of my position off the table. That's 50% of my position. Then I hold on to 25% of the position. VWAP comes into play. VWAP is holding nicely all throughout lunchtime. Bang. We get the break to the high of the day. We get increasing volume. And on this extension right here, guys, I get flat. The last piece of my position right here at 1338 from that 1086 entry. Final take profit CODX 1338 as we push and extend higher. So there's the entry. Again, guys, there's the entry. Let me delete all these green arrows so you guys can see a little bit more clearly. Okay, there's the entry. First take profit, second take profit, third and final take profit. Tier trading strategy working out perfectly, keeping me in the winning trade longer, getting the most out of this trade as CODX extended higher in the afternoon session, and we caught a huge piece of that move. All right. So really good trading today, guys. CODX, I made a little bit of money in TVIX, but CODX was my big win of the day today. And the coronavirus stocks got a boost once the World Health Organization labeled it as a global pandemic. As the market sold off, some of the coronavirus stocks pushed higher. That did help CODX. We have to see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully we get a bounce back tomorrow. Trump met with all the banking CEOs, the Wall Street CEOs today in the White House. They're working on a stimulus package. We got to see what it looks like. Republicans and Democrats, they're going to bump heads over this economic stimulus package as we go into an election year. So let's hope that both parties can reach across the aisle and come to some type of an agreement that could potentially save us from going into a recession. But with each passing day at this point, a recession becomes more and more likely. If you ask me, Mike, place your money on a bet. I think we go into a recession. I just don't think it's that bad. I think we have a little bit more downside in the SPY. Maybe we go into a recession for 3 to 5 quarters, and then eventually the economy recovers, and I think the market starts to work its way back, and the SPY by the end of the year, maybe by beginning of 2021, we go back, we're over 300, we're back to 320, back up in that region. I think that's the most likely scenario, but we got to get this virus under control first. So historic moments continue. We are officially in a bear market on the technical definition, 20% down on the Dow from our 52-week high. Let's see if we bounce back and recover tomorrow, get back out of bear market territory, or is there more blood in the waters ahead? I'll see you guys in chat tomorrow. Do not forget, 30% off that 1-year all-inclusive membership. Do not trade these markets on your own. Okay? I will guide you guys through the markets. I actually kept the chat room open. I'm keeping the chat room open for an extra hour every day during this market turmoil, just for members to ask questions about what's going on with the coronavirus, what's going on with oil, what's going on with the Fed cutting rates, what's going on with treasury yields, what's going on with economic stimulus, any questions that people have. Because right now there's a lot of question marks. A lot of people have questions. I'm leaving the chat room open for an extra hour during this volatility to answer people's questions. So come and chat, join the community, get the guidance, and the help and the advice and the education that you need to be successful in a market environment like we are in now. That's what TTG is really all about. And I'm going to extend that offer until Sunday night. So again, guys, click on the link below to get 30% off that 1-year all-inclusive membership plan. I'll see you guys in chat later.